Today, it's episode number 223, and I'm so excited for you to meet my friend Keiauna White, an OG Boutique Hub member and retail boot camper. And I love this conversation today because we're talking about what it takes to sometimes strip away everything that's going on right now in your business and get back to the basics and reimagine where you want your business to grow. Key's business has grown and evolved and changed from being a fashion truck to being a storefront to moving online. And today we're talking about what it takes to be like a lifelong learner that is willing and able to be nimble to grow and evolve with your business. Key is such a genuine spirit. I can't wait for you to meet her and get to know her in episode number 223. Let's go. Let's talk about your business strategy and the juicy details of what actually works, from mainstream fashion to fashion on Main Street and the entire ecosystem behind it. How do we scale your company and do it with the balance and the happiness that we all seek? Let's hear from those insiders, experts, and strategists that actually make it happen. I'm your host, Ashley Alderson from the Boutique Hub, and I can't wait to chat. Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast this week. I'm so pumped to be back with another OG of the Hub and OG of Retail Bootcamp. Can I say that, Key? Keiauna White is the founder of Beautiful Boutiques, but I like it better when you say it.
Okay, so it's the Beautiful Boutiques.
Oh, I love it. I love the excitement in that. So, Key, you've been a part of the Hub for a long time. You've been a part of Retail Bootcamp, and we've gotten to see each other so many times in person. I always admire your style and just the energy that you bring to a room when you enter it. So it is so good to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm a total Ashley Alderson fangirl. So everyone should know that. If I get tripped up today, it's because I'm super nervous. No matter how comfortable we are, I'm just like a fangirl.
We're just going to chat it up. That's it. It's going to be super easy, I promise. Well, we've got to start this way. So I've gotten a front row seat to kind of watch your journey unfold over the last couple of years. But for everyone who's watching at home or listening at home, I want you to start by giving the context of how'd you get into this business? How did it start? And then what does the business look like today?
Oh, wow. Okay. So I always knew that I needed freedom. Freedom of, I don't know. I just needed time. I need to be able to move, not really used to the humdrum. That's terrible for me. So to sum that up, I wanted to work for myself. And one of my aunts is really fashionable. Whenever she's still to this day, whenever she shows up, she's just known for her looks. And coming up as a child, one of my best parts of summer was going to stay with her. And we would go to these boutiques and consignment shops and things like that. She never shopped big retail or chain stores, but she always had these when she walks in a room, she's in a room. So I think that's where I got the fashion part of it from. But I knew really other people telling me what to do and when to do it, even though I still have to have people tell me what to do and when to do it. So I started my first brick and mortar as a consignment shop in one of our shopping districts in 2013. At the time, my children were small. I had 3 small children, and they all had somewhere to be or something to do. So now being a creative, I was just a boutique, I'll start one. So we got in and painted the walls and, did the carpet, put out decor, hung inventory. And then it was wait, if I put these hours on the wall or on the internet, somebody has to be here. And I've got stuff to do. I can't be here all day, but I can't really afford to pay anybody to be here. And so right at that same time, the fashion truck was starting in LA. And so I followed them and followed all of the hype, and I was excited. I'm like, oh, I can do this. This is fun. So I started looking for trucks and buses and trucks on eBay, just everywhere, riding around. Anywhere I saw a truck backed in somebody's yard, I'm knocking on the door is that for sale? So that kind of thing. And long story short, 2014, we started the my first truck, the beautiful boutique on wheels. So we had fun with that, popping up, just having a blast. The only thing was my city didn't really recognize mobile businesses at that time. So I was like, yeah, I've got a fashion truck. I need a license. And they're like, girl, what is a fashion truck? We never heard of that. And I said, well, just give me the same license that the food trucks have and I'll pop up with them. And they're like, yeah, we don't have any food trucks. What are you talking about? So I had to either do private events hosted by, organizations in the city, like I did Relay for Life. Some of those events I did home shopping parties where I would pull up in the yard and girlfriends come out and shop, or I would have to drive to larger cities like Birmingham or Atlanta and go to some of their festivals and events. Just when it was going and we started showing up at our own city events and things like that, I went through a divorce. So while I was in the middle of the divorce, my daughter was also graduating from high school. So it was kind of like, you might want to know where your check is coming from and how much it's going to be. This is fun, but is it going to make sure that your daughter has food in college? So I went to work for an insurance company. They had it set up where you could not run your own business based on the bonuses that we received. So I had to kind of put the truck down for a little while. Fast forward, new husband, daughter's in college. So literally very new husband. December of 16, we got married. February of 17, we were in a terrible car accident. My neck was broken in 4 places, in a neck brace, sitting in the house. You're just like, woe is me. I'm never going to drive again. This is stupid. Life sucks. And I guess I'll find a job over the internet that I can work from home. So that's kind of what it was. And he was like, you're going to drive again. The neck brace is coming off and you have a job. It's out there in the yard. You can't sell this truck. What are you doing?
Yeah.
2018 holiday season. My neck brace came off in September. So holiday season 2018, I decided to pop up in one of the shops downtown that was newly renovated. And I've kind of fallen in love with downtown and been here ever since. So that's kind of the gist of it. That pop-up was really just so my customers didn't have to hunt me down on the truck and I didn't have to be jumping on and off the truck in the cold. And then it just turned into a love for downtown and a love for face-to-face, consistent interaction.
Yeah. So did you then, that was a pop-up. So you must have gotten into your brick and mortar then in 2019? Right.
Yes. So yes, February of 19. I moved right down the street. It was across the street. I literally roll racks up the sidewalk on moving day, just to another location. I fell in love with that. And yeah, I'm right here in the middle of downtown Montgomery and I love it.
I love that. So how much of your business today is made up of still using the truck and going to vendor events versus I know you're in the brick and mortar, but how do you split your time?
Okay, so most of my time is definitely brick and mortar. I still will show up for events. It kind of feels good a little bit, even though the truck is my excitement, what I love. It feels better now to be able to choose which events we actually pull the truck out for. Now I don't have to just jump and run when somebody says, oh, we're having a festival, or, oh, I want to have a pop-up. And I'm like, don't think that's where we're coming, but we'll be here on this day. So I love it. I would say the truck is still about 35% of my business.
Perfect.
Love it.
So the first time you made the go of it, it was just inconsistent revenue, right? Not enough to build a life off of. When you relaunched the second time, did you relaunch in a different manner? You came in with new strategy, or how did you make sure this time you were going to be able to pay yourself and actually make a go of it?
Well, let's see. Where were we on that timeline? The timeline was February 2019.
Yeah.
February 2019. I'm brick and mortar. I'm so excited. I'm doing this. April, I think 2019 was Summit. When was Summit?
June 2019.
June. That's when I figured out, girl, you cannot be playing. This is not a joke. This is a real business. Yes, Mike, profit first, pay yourself. It's fun, but no, if this is what you have committed to do and you're going to take care of your family and have the freedoms that you want, you better figure out the right way to do it. So we started there.
Did you follow Mike Michalowicz before you saw him at the Boutique Summit? Like, did you know Profit First or any of that, or was that your first introduction to him?
That was my first introduction.
Oh man.
That was my first introduction.
You hit the ground running. So for those of you that are listening that don't know, the book is Profit First. The author is Mike Michalowicz. He also has a wonderful book for those of you that have scaled called Clockwork. And Key, I don't know if you've read Clockwork yet, but it's a tremendous book. So you went home, you heard Mike, and how did you start to put profit first and just that mindset? He had so many good takeaways in his talk, the theory of small plates, and that we'll put on our plate, we'll consume everything on our plate unless we start to put things aside, right? Which is the profit first mentality. How did you start to put that into action for yourself, and what results did you start to see?
Wow. Okay. So reading the book, still not really seeing, okay, how it worked until I actually started putting in place. A whole lot of things happened like really, really fast. So profit first, management one, it was just like, I needed all the instruction. Now I know I get really excited about things, but I also know that I can follow directions if I have them. Yeah. So it was good to be able to pay myself, even if it was just a little bit. And then when I knew what to buy, it became more than just a little bit. So that was exciting.
Yes. And you still have a Management One consultant as well. I love that you're picking out quality mentors, like quality places to get information. I think that makes a huge difference when you know like the right people to hook up with and work with. And Management One has been a huge partner of ours for so long. But now all of a sudden you're going from not just paying yourself with Profit First, but the inventory strategy. Right.
And forget all my shameless plugs, but I really do credit where I am in my business to the boutique hub, the community, just being able to bounce things off, get ideas, learn new information, access trusted information, trusted vendors, trusted everyone. It's just like, okay, they did the hard part, because in business, everybody's selling something on the internet. Everybody's a professional. Everybody's a master at some craft, and you just don't know, okay, do I really send you my banking information? Are you real? Like, is this a real thing? So I appreciate being able to choose and learn from people who you've already tested and tried. So yeah, that has been wonders. That has worked wonders for my business.
I love that. I appreciate the shameless plug. I'll slip you your $20 under the table after this. So one thing that you do really well, and I mentioned this in the intro, but I always love your style. I always love your taste. And I feel like your customers, like, they're drawn to fashion, right? It's not just comfort, but like, you have real deal style. How have you really staying keen on who your customer is and how she's changed, especially like post-pandemic when fashion kind of went to like joggers for a long period of time and now we're back? How have you stayed with that and stayed keen on what and how to buy for your customer?
Okay, just first of all, by talking to them. Now, we preach we don't sacrifice quality or comfort for style. And I know my lady is like busy with work, community work, motherhood, all kind of things. So she definitely wants to be comfortable. and quality pieces that aren't going to like tear her up or rip when she sits down, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But when it's time to step out and show up for an event, then she really wants to step out. And she doesn't always know how to do that. So we were building relationships here that allow me to assist with that. So I love that. But while everyone was working from home, my girl really still did not want joggers. she just did not want, she got over that pretty quickly. And I was happy. Yeah. And ironically, I'm a lazy dresser. I consider myself lazy. Even if it's a tutu, it's like, okay, you put it on with the t-shirt. It's easy. So even though I look like I'm like showing up for something, it's just like, what's the easiest thing to grab? So we kind of bounced off each other as far as what her needs were. And if it's like, girl, okay, I'm tired of walking around the house, even though I'm at the computer, I need to put on clothes and that's going to make me feel better. We kind of just bounced that off of each other and just tried and tested a few things.
Yeah. You must see yourself in your eyes as a style educator. Like it's one thing just to have products and to be like, oh, here's this thing, but like you're showing them this is exactly how you wear it. This is the exact value you get out of it because it's quality. You can wash it. You can hand it down to your sister, to your daughter, to whatever. How do you prefer to show up, like on video as a style educator, or what's your main medium so your girl feels like she's really getting the best education from you?
The main medium would definitely be the Facebook Lives. The Facebook Lives, we get to sit down, really have, well, I'm not sitting down, they are, but really have that girl talk. And my daughter, who has been such a blessing in my business, she shows up with that, and they're all like her aunties, so she can really tell them, auntie, that's not going to look good on you, or auntie, you need this because this is where you're going to wear this to. And so that goes back and forth from the ladies that are online only who love us and love hanging out. And when I say us, I'm not just talking about like my daughter and I, but like all the ladies that are on live together, they kind of know each other now. It's a whole community. So they can tell each other, you can wear this 80 times. You can throw it in the washer. You can throw it in the dryer. You don't have to iron it. Take this. You need it. You need every color. We do the same thing in store and just kind of love it. Now, getting to know people, it takes a minute, but once we have that trust, then it's like, okay, this you need, this, yes, you can have it if you're just in a shopping mood and you just want to buy something. I'm not going to stop you, but this you need.
Yeah, I like that. It's solid advice they can trust. How often are you guys going live? And are you doing just like live previews or style sessions, or is it like a full-on live sale?
So we do full-on live sales. We go live on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. and Thursday nights at 7 p.m. And so sometimes we'll jump on in between with a quick try on or a more specific live, for just a particular reason. But those are our two main lives.
Got it. And do you manual invoice? Do you use comment sold, or how is your inventory management flow between mobile, brick and mortar, and online?
Comment sold. I have got to be like the, I don't know, spokesperson for all of the providers in the hub. When my friends, we talk, my boutique besties, we talk, and they're like, you're doing this? Why do you do this? And don't get me wrong. Speaking with some of them, we're all just we all have our own recipe that works for us. But I stand by mine. I've been asked like, well, wait, why do you do that? Or how much does that cost? And I'm like, nope, I'm doing it. And this is why I'm doing it. If you don't want to do it, I understand, but it works. It works for me and I'm sticking to it. So yes, to answer your question, comment sold is what I use. Not much manual invoicing anymore, unless we have some questions that can't be answered by comment sold.
Got it. So talk to me about growth. So you've grown online. I'm assuming now you've got customers all over the country, right? Not just in Montgomery. So
Right.
is it the consistency of showing up live twice a week? It's predictable. Or like, is it your customers? Have you asked them to share your business with their friends and their family and created giveaways? Or how have you grown online outside of just your brick and mortar?
It's a combination. It's a combination of just that. Showing up consistently is definitely the thing. One of my favorites for teaching that lesson or sharing that lesson with us is Mindy.
Yeah.
So just showing up, like, yeah, if I get on now, like, y'all, I forgot my tooth today. I don't know where it is. So if I smile this way, don't worry about me. I'm here, that kind of thing. But just showing up no matter what is going on and being authentic, I think it grows a desire for your people to share you with. When they love you, we all will share something or someone that we love. We want to share it with other people that we love. So the community definitely is the most part of that. And then just being consistent and showing up. And then people are like, yeah, my husband knows your voice. Everybody knows when you're on. And then it's a thing.
Yeah. Do you ever I feel like I hear this a lot from boutiques, like the people that will message you and they're like, I binge watched all of your lives. Like it's a reality TV show. And they're like, I tuned in for all of them. I may not have bought anything, but I was there. Do you think that there's things that you do? I know you mentioned being authentic, but are there certain things or triggers that you do during every live that you feel like really are meant to build community or meant to build engagement that really work for you?
Do I feel that there are specific things we do? Let's see. Showing up, I would have to go back to the same thing. Just literally showing up and sharing what's happening. Like not leaving out the ugly part sometimes. And just being honest, and even in conversation. Like I said, my daughter will be like, no, you need this. Or auntie, listen, I've got a date with this guy. He is fine. And I'm wearing this because this makes me feel like I can pick daffodils, something she said I'm going on a picnic, that kind of thing. So I think that is what just creates that interest.
Yeah, just the real nature of it. I'm assuming that's in your Facebook group. Are there other main channels that you use most often, like our Instagram, TikTok? Like, what are your other main channels that you enjoy using?
I'm just learning TikTok, even though I'm like 3 years behind on that. So it's a goal for me to do a TikTok like a week or something. I feel so accomplished when I can complete a TikTok. Instagram, I definitely post and engage on Instagram, but I think Facebook for me is my main source of interaction.
Mm-hmm. Do you think if there's like one skill that you have that you are most proud of as it comes to your business being where it is today? Look at your eyes. You're with me. I can tell. What is the thing that you feel like, you know what, I've got this. This is my superpower or the thing I'm most proud of. And before you answer, because I know you're going to stall on me here, I'm just going to tell you, like, I think we are all conditioned to be humble or don't brag on yourself. But you know what? This is about celebrating the things that make you awesome and unique. So I want to hear from you. What is your main skill or superpower?
My main skill or superpower, I just always go back. I just always go back to just showing up as myself. That's the only superpower that I know I have. So when I was going through the roles in my business and, what they require and who I felt should be doing what, I literally said that I'm the best at the relationship building in store. Like I just love the interaction, the relationship building, the showing up, the having girl talk. The girl talk, it's like, I don't want to go too far, but I think I'm the best at relationship building and being the visionary in my business. Like the ideas come. Now, I might not count the steps in between the ideas, but I know, okay, this is what we're doing and we need to do it this day. So that in between, I might need a lot of help on, but I think those are what I'm best at in my business.
So as you've grown, now you have a team, you have help. And so usually that's the visionary, and then there's the integrator. On our team, that's our Beth. That's the integrator. So is that one of the first positions that you hired, was someone to help you take your ideas and just step by step put them in place?
Actually, it wasn't. It was not. That was probably about the third. That might have been the third. I needed it, but I was just determined, because I'm that creative. I'm just like, I'm doing this. This is how you do it. And then I finally realized, okay, girl, no, don't waste your time. Listen, do what you do best and hire the rest.
That is it. How did your team progress? Talk to me about how you started to grow. What did you outsource first? And now what does your team look like today?
Wow. So there have been, in team building or my team, I think there have been so many changes in trying to figure out who's best at what. Because at first it was just like, okay, y'all, she's really doing this. We might need to help her. As far as the support I have from my family and my friends. And so that's one thing, because you can assign simple tasks or everyone wants to help in every way. But as the business has grown, and especially since I've had to pay people to actually work or hire a team, it's like, no, you're better at this. So let's get you to do this on these days. This is where you're really good. So you can work on this. And, it's just kind of come together that way. So in growth, I can see in growth and in learning and listening to all these videos and the boutique chat and everybody else's, like, what's going on. I have learned to stop like wasting time, energy, and efforts where they're really not being a good return on investment.
So I love that you said you're focusing on basically income generating activities, right? So you
Right.
hired your team around what makes sense, what builds revenue, what is the 20% of our list that's going to get us 80% of the results. So I'm curious, are there things that either fall on one end of that spectrum or the other, that either were a trap for you or you feel like they're a trap for other businesses that you see in the hub? So tasks that maybe are time wasters that you were figuring out how to get rid of or how to outsource, or opportunities where you have now figured out how to double down with your time because they are income generating activities. So either end of the spectrum, are there things that come to mind that jump out in your own business?
Oh, specific things that come to mind. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Social media being one of them. I outsourced social media initially because it was a thing that it's not really that I hated it, but I just didn't set my time to where I was doing it effectively. So I did hate it when I had to think after every 4 hours, okay, I didn't make a post. I need to make a post. But I outsourced that and I was not really satisfied with the writing, the post. And I'm not saying that I won't do it again, but just things like that have taught me, okay, either you're going to focus, schedule some time, do it and make it work efficiently for your business, or you're going to have to outsource it. My marketing, my website, we're in the middle of an overhaul with the website, and I'm so excited about that as well. But just those things, have proven that I don't need to be wasting my time doing this when I should be doing that. And let me allow you to do this because this is your thing. This is your lane. It's easy for you. It's natural for you. And I'm wasting the business's time by trying to figure out, how to be in your lane.
Yeah. Let's talk about the social media, like what you just mentioned, because I think that's a common trap. It's like that anxiety of okay, now I need to post again and again. And it weighs on you, because I don't know about you, but I don't feel creative every day. Like I've got a couple hours of the day in the morning where my juices are flowing, but after that, like I'm spent. So I think that's a common place where people are like, I'm just going to outsource it, but then your voice totally gets lost. So did you bring it back in the sense that now you're kind of planning the overall vision or batching content, and then you've just hired roles that help support you in leading the social media? Is that what it looks like now for your business?
That is exactly what it looks like. That's exactly what it looks like, because yeah, I just believe when God gives you a vision, is your vision.
Yeah.
And while people can kind of support you and jump on with you, they don't always see it. They hardly ever see it the way you see it. So
Yeah.
even when it comes to wording, yes, there are times where we are girlfriend chit chat, and I'm your best friend, you're my best friend, and we use slang and all of those things. But there are also times where we want the voice to speak to everyone who doesn't understand that, who hasn't built that relationship yet. And so getting someone else to understand when it's time for which one
Yeah.
can be a challenge. So yes, I've kind of pushed a little bit on, okay, this is how we are, this is what we're saying, this is why we do what we do, and we need to express it this way. But after that hump is over, then you can, let them go with it. If it's someone that I've trusted and they've got it,
Yeah.
let them go with it so I can move on to the next thing.
Yeah. Really, and what you're saying, and I think we all get intimidated by this, is the time it takes to train an employee right. Like sometimes I think we hire people, we bring them in, and then we just like feed them with a fire hose and hope that they get it. Yeah, been there. Our latest employee, Sarah, keeps saying, Ashley, we are going to drip the water on the sponge. We're going to drip the water. We are not going to pour the whole pitcher of water on the sponge. Have you learned that lesson with all of your employees? You feel like you've
Wow.
more of a training process?
Yes, that's a good one. That's a good one. And especially when I have family support that have turned into employees, then they can kind of tell you, you're the worst boss ever. How did you think I was going to know this? I'm like, you're smart. Can't you just figure it out? So we figured out, or I figured out soon, that's not the way to go.
Yeah. Let's talk about buying, because I seem to run into you at markets quite often. You work with Management One. And so if anyone doesn't know Management One, they are a merchandise planning company. They help you plan inventory, but you show up to source your products in person. Talk to me about how your buying has changed and how it's become more efficient in the last year or so. How do you look at buying differently?
At first it was like, this is cute, we're buying it. That's cute too, we're buying that. Then we come back from market with all of the same things. It's like, oh my gosh, we've got all these hot kimonos, and oh, look at these jeans, they're great, they fit us great, but what kind of shirt are they going to wear under this kimono? We don't have any shirts to sell. Like, what's going on? So then it's like, order shirts. And that was the initial fun of going to market, seeing all the pretty things, all the great things. Now I do still love or prefer going to market, touching and feeling versus online shopping. That's just me. But since hiring Management One, I know, and it feels so good to get on our calls, and exactly what I see is lining up with the science of the numbers, the part that is not my wheelhouse. But it's like, my Management One consultant is speaking to me in his language that he's really excited about, and I can see it in my own terms, or even physically see it. So I love that. Buying has definitely changed. We're able to plan more, to sell faster and more efficiently, or to get things in and out if they don't need to be here. I always hear your voice like, those are my $20 hanging on those hangers. All of those hangers have my money on them. Like, we don't need them sitting here.
You're a good student. You're taking home all the pieces. Yes. So for those of you that don't know, that is something Sarah and I say all the time is rather than being emotionally attached to our inventory, like so many are, we look at it as $20 bills hanging on the hanger. And you approach it so different when you look at it that way, don't you? Unemotional attachment.
Get it out of here. If it's been hanging, get it out.
Get it out. All right, Kei, should we do some lightning round?
Sure. Oh my goodness.
Okay, couple quick questions. Favorite book, favorite business book?
Favorite business book is going to be Profit First.
Nice. Favorite business podcast?
Favorite business podcast is definitely the Boutique Chat.
Yay!
I'm not just saying that either because I'm here. Like the opportunity to hear everyone else's stories and learn about different ways that they have done things, as well as the service providers, and just getting information from all of it's like it's all right there in one. So I don't have to go looking from podcast to figure it out.
I appreciate that. Actually, I want to ask you a quick question. I'm going to interrupt our lightning round to ask you this question. Because you've been a hub member, you've been a part of all these things. Sometimes we get people into the hub that are new and they're like, I don't know how to use this. From your experience, what's the best way to use the hub?
The training library and the member groups are the best way to use the hub, even if you have no idea like what you're doing. You will have to learn like just by accident, just by being there. So I think that's the best. Those would be my two best ways. Now, if they're just joining, but I always scream retail boot camp. I don't care if you have to take it forever, take it every time. I'm taking it every time. It's wonderful. It's here. So I scream that. But if they're not ready for that, or if they don't understand why they're ready for that investment, then I would say the member groups and the training library.
Awesome. Thank you for that. Okay, next lightning round question. What is the best mistake you've ever made?
Oh, the best mistake I've ever made. That's a good one. That's tough. The best mistake. I don't know, because like I would have to have a worse mistake, but I don't view my mistakes as worse because I believe that they build. Yeah. So if it's a best mistake, I can't really call it a mistake. Well, it was a mistake if I didn't intend to do it. You got me there, Ashley. You got me.
Okay, let me rephrase this. What's the best lesson you've learned in business? Most important lesson you've learned in business?
The most important thing that I've learned in business is to keep pushing, keep moving. I would tell anyone that if God has assigned something to you, it's your assignment, so no one else can do it. Things are going to happen. Life will definitely happen. And you've got to just keep moving, keep moving, keep moving.
I like that. All right, Keiauna. So the last question I always ask on the podcast, and you know this, is the big question. Because you and I both know we aren't here just to sell shirts, right? We're not here just to sell products. We've got a way bigger purpose that we're all here to fulfill. So the question is, 30 years from now, you're on the front porch with your grandbabies. You're talking about the boutique and the mobile boutique. Remember when no one ever did a mobile boutique and they were like, what is this? And then you built this life and all these things. As you look back at all of that with your grandbabies, what's the thing that you want them to remember the most about you and the life you lived?
I want my grandbabies to remember to keep pushing. Just as I said, keep going no matter what. Yeah, just to keep going, keep pushing. And just as I've said, I like most of my thoughts are just on repeat. So God gave it to you. I did it. I did what he told me to do. My biggest fear is that I will lose track of what I'm supposed to be doing just because things have turned out in whichever way. So great, so grand, not so great, not so grand. So I want my grandbabies to be able to say, my grandma did it, and a whole lot of stuff happened to her on her way to doing it, but she did it. She kept going, she kept going, she kept going. And she always told us that God gave us a vision that didn't belong to anyone else, so only we could see it through.
I love that. Yeah, thank you so much for joining us on the podcast today and for all of your kind words. I appreciate you so much, and I can't wait to get to catch up with you in person again soon.
Thank you so much. I have enjoyed it, and I will see you very soon.
Hey guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope that you loved it. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave a rating and review down below for a chance to be one of our featured listeners each and every week. For more information on our spirit of community over competition and how to access complete show notes and bonus downloads from our guests, head on over to theboutiquehub.com and join the community. We'll see you next week.